Your People Better, March 31st, 2026. Happy Trans Awareness Day. God damn, this water is so fucking low on the pressure. Holy fucking shit. And I just talked for like 5 minutes with nothing being recorded for some fucking reason. So I gotta restart my timer. Washing my hands, and that is the maximum amount of water I can get out of that thing right now. That's ridiculous. Not to mention the shower head right now, while it's in use, just slowly fucking creeps down now. It's like I knew that was going to happen the day I moved in here. So I got my pizza dough just out of the fridge, and then I have a little something that I made for myself. Because I wanted something sweet, and I didn't want something that was crazy, and like I was looking at stuff, and I was like, I don't want to really cook right now, because I injured myself this Saturday, which is what I was talking about before I realized this thing ain't fucking, it wasn't recording. So I basically made cheap homemade fudge with some sweetened condensed milk, chocolate chips. I have 2 kinds of chocolate chips. So I also added in some peanut butter. Let's see if I can get this out. Well, the problem is that I used a much too deep dish. I was going to use one of my bigger ones, my bigger containers. I was going to use this. I was going to use basically this, but no, I didn't do that. And now I'm regretting not doing that because it's so deep in there. Getting it out is kind of a bitch. But you know, it is what it is. And it didn't turn out great, but it doesn't matter. Because there's chocolate and peanut butter and sugar. So, all for me. No one else. So, good. Sticky and good. So, to reiterate what I was saying before I realized it wasn't being recorded, last Tuesday, I went to the physical therapy office. I basically worked my ass off. I decided to skip Wednesday because I'd already worked out on Monday, and then I worked out there at the place on Tuesday. Like, I'm still sweating from today. I need to see what my temperature setting is. Okay. Because I had that on 75, and it was free. It would get cold up in this bitch. Now I set on 72. As I got here, it was on, and it was set at 75, and it didn't feel like it was on at all. So anyway, Thursday is when I do my next set of stuff in the gym. They still haven't fixed, even though they've told me in the fucking application online that it has been fixed. So I'm gonna have to actually talk to property management tomorrow about it, if I remember. And because I still got a phone call with my therapist tomorrow, and then I got to go back to the physical therapy office on Thursday, and then on Friday I got to get a fucking endoscope shoved into my nose to see what the hell's going on up in there. I think I know what's going on with like the weird burning sensation though. Whenever I because like I haven't really experienced it, and I seem to only experience it when I'm regularly using my headphones and my earbuds. So that's probably what's going on. But anyway, Thursday, I do a sort of reset to my weight. So I drop it down to 10 reps, and I do all 10 reps at once. And then on Saturday, I decided, because I was otherwise going to do it on Friday, but on Saturday, I decided, okay, I'll start doing the 11, and I'll start with 5 and then go 6. So it'd be like, so then I get in there, I set it to the deadlift position. All right, I set the weight to 60 because it was otherwise previously 50 pounds because I got to even it out. And set up the deadlift. I set up the chest press to 55 because that was what was available for the next weight increment. And so I'm like, okay, I'll do my 5 deadlifts, then do the 5 chest. But before I do the 5 chest, I move the bar up to the squat position so that I can then do the squats after I come off of the chest press. Then after I'm done with the squats, I'll drop it back down so that I can do the deadlifts, move that back up so that I can then get ready for the last set of squats, go back over to the chest press, but I didn't get that far. So I did the first set of deadlifts, moved it to the squat position, walked over to the chest press, did the 5 chest, walked over back to the machine because they're like right next to each other, did the squats, moved both of the racks, the things down to the bottom so that I could do the deadlift set. And the moment that I felt resistance, in trying to lift it, big old sharp stab in the fucking back. Stop doing everything. Put all the weight equipment away. My back is fucking killing me. I'm able to finish off the chest press without any problem. Then I get on the elliptical for 5 minutes and I'm just like, this is not making it feel better. And just doing that right now, like doing that feels fucking weird. Swinging my legs a certain direction, like it's not sore, it hurts. And so probably pulled something because all of it was weak, even though I was trying to not make it fucking weak. And that has been my problem the whole fucking time as an adult. And this is where my big rant comes into play. Every fucking time I try to better myself physically, something usually fucks it up. You know, I still have anxiety when it comes to certain things. Like when I was going to Pasadena City College, they have a gym. As long as you're a student there, you can go use the gym. But the gym is so out of sight, out of mind for me, I never think about potentially going in there and doing anything, right? So the only thing that I had been doing was riding my bike, right? And riding my bike was beneficial. I had better lung capacity. I weighed less. During that time as well, I was also eating better. I was losing weight. You know, I got down to like 210 when I first got off of the streets, started going to PCC, and was like doing stuff, right? But because depression is what it is, and because my job situation was always so fucking sporadic, you know, I get this shoe job, and then my depression starts to, I guess if you will, it starts to exacerbate. It starts to get worse and worse and worse to the point where I'm literally drinking on the job. Which, by the way, was an idea provided to me from the guy who, like, referenced the job to me in the first place. Kind of wish he had said something sooner. Anyway. So, I'm trying to, like, improve my life to the best of my ability. Not making that much money. But, I'm getting this radio show. I'm going through the program and everything. Basically kicking ass, taking names. I'm starting to get like popularity at the school, which is weird for me. Like I could walk into, not all classes, but certain classes, I could walk into them. A standing ovation is not the right phrasing, but it would be like a minimal version. I ain't fucking kidding. It's weird when you have multiple people, more than 2 people, stand up and basically cheer for you. When you just walk into a room, it's weird. I'm not in opposition of it. It's just weird. 4 minutes. You know, I tried to help people whenever I could when it came to information and stuff. And then, because I basically get rejected by this one girl, my depression, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. I tweet out the bomb thread, I get fucking arrested. I'm still not in the greatest of shape. I get into trouble with the inmates. They break me off, as they call it, and they either want me to fight them for you don't get to fight them. They beat you up for 23 seconds. If you fight against them, then they double it. I was like, well, let's just go and let's double it. It'll be over in less than a minute. And the cowards didn't want to fucking do it. So they basically pressured me to do the push-ups. I do like 21 push-ups or some shit. My shoulder's fucked. You're fucking screaming at that point. Collapse under it. And they're like, you gotta finish. And I'm like, I literally cannot finish. Is there anything else? And I end up being able to fucking like negotiate sit-ups. And so we pull off sit-ups. And I'm just like, why wasn't that an option? But now I got a fucked up shoulder because of that. So I can't do push-ups anymore, really. Like, even when I was doing up against the little shoulder height wall that was at the shelter, it was still painful. They're saying that it's adhesive capsulitis, frozen shoulder, but like I'm able to do things that a frozen shoulder supposedly can't, whereas a torn labrum is closer to supposedly what I'm able to deal with. At least that's what the physical therapist is saying. And I'm like, well, I need Gyro from fucking Bob's Burgers to come over here and be my healer. So then, you know, I get kicked out of that housing situation. I move in with a buddy of mine from the radio station who barely knew me, puts me up at his place, even though I'm not technically supposed to. And then through the substance abuse program that they had where he was at, you know, I'm going through that program as well. I'm trying to get a job, and I get a job, and like, I still have my bike. And then, you know, I move into one of the apartments that are up there, like he was in. After several months, I get a job at iHeartRadio, and then my bike gets fucking stolen. Now, it's on me that it wasn't properly secured, but it's also on the person who fucking stole it. Because I didn't really properly secure it the way I typically did. I kind of did it a little hastily. And I lost it before I got the job at iHeart. And, you know, then just like, iHeart didn't pay well. So I wasn't, and on top of it, like, getting there was a bitch, because, yeah, I could take like 2 buses and get there, but if I missed a bus, or if the bus was late, then I'd have to call a fucking Uber, and that was basically the cost of half of my work for the day, because I only have 5 hours a day. And so, like, while there were opportunities to rise up in iHeart, they were infrequent. And they happened at times that weren't exactly amenable to my schedule, because I was working overnights. I didn't have a car, so I couldn't just get rid of, drop, fuck. Responsibilities, I guess. I couldn't just drop responsibility, get rid of responsibilities at the drop of a hat or anything, and then just go to work and make that extra money. It wasn't a possibility. Whereas, like, there was this one kid who was there, he was able to do it all the time because his, like, godmother worked there, and she was able to call him Ubers for all the fucking tough things, and so he was able to just make his way up the rank. I got 2 gigs, and that was it. And, it's like, and then when I was working at the actual rehab place, not the last one I worked at, but the first one I ever worked at, once I got working there in the morning, I had more, like, just energy and motivation to, like, actually work out at the little gym that they had. But then I have that small fall, and it screws my back up, and literally, like, the next week I'm doing fucking squats, and I feel that same fucking pain in my back. I'm trying to make things better for me now with this place, and, with the physical therapy and shit, and now it's like, well, it's like, what the fuck, man? I was looking forward to living here, and there's so many problems that are here, but also so many problems in my own goddamn life. It sucks. And I'm in a shitty mood and a shitty place mentally. Have fun.